The Dace Man Show, featuring Gibby, Frank Ward, Cheever, Tips, Sir Nicholas Andrew, Frank Klein, Chris Bumpadre. This is Travis Goss welcoming you to the Dace-tacular Basement in Daceford, New Jersey with your host, Chris, the Dace Man Dace.
Kind of one of those weird ones where I was like,
What's up, Dace-tacular Nation? Welcome to another edition of the Dace Man Show. I am your host, Chris, the Dace Man Dace, and joining me always to my left, Gibby.
Bring it, bitches, bring it! Where's my walker?
Anyway, we're going to jump right into things because if you've been following us since our return, there has been a lot of speculation, rumors, revolving around Lucasfilm.
God damn.
Now, we got a big show for you tonight. So, we got Comic-Con news on the horizon. There's some gaming news that we want to talk about. But, in our new segment I like to call, Gibby watches something called Doomcock.
That's right.
He wants to talk about the Star Wars news. So, go ahead,
Right.
buddy. Oh, you.
So anyway, I found them because everyone, like even major news people are actually citing him for things because for some reason every time something happens, he breaks it first. So he clearly has it in somewheres. Clearly. So I guess at the beginning of not the beginning, after our show last week, they did do an announcement. So I remember, if you remember last time I did tell you that Doomcock or whatever basically said that there were
His name is Doomcock.
basically they did a lot of cutting of episode 9, and it was kind of like the board was like, what the fuck did you do that for, blah blah blah. Well, after that it got leaked basically that Disney is on Disney Plus is going to release
The Lucas cut?
the Lucas cut. They're actually going to call it not Lucas, it's going to call it JJ's cut.
The director's cut.
Well, yeah, JJ's version. So apparently it's 4.5 hours long. So he was.
Take some PTO. You're taking a half day.
So apparently he was actually him and Luke, because apparently George helped out tremendously with it. And this is why he didn't even go and see episode 9, because he was so pissed off on how she basically just trashed everything they did. So basically, they're well, see, this is the problem. Doomcock today said something completely different, but so apparently they were just they're going to release that. They were actually pushing to be split into 2, which I was saying from day one. It's like I don't know how you can wrap everything that they just did up in just one movie.
Because you should have had it as a break.
Exactly. So I was like, I don't see how it can't be 2. Blah 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 blah. So apparently, they had massive, I didn't even know how much reshoots they actually did for this. They actually had to reshoot like 3 times, they said. Because she just kept changing shit left and fucking right. So what's his name? Ray is apparently extremely pissed off at them because I guess her acting career is taking a hit because of this. Which I didn't realize. I guess it kind of makes sense.
She hasn't really done anything since she did the Murder on the Oriental Express.
That's it. But the other guy, the other main character, he's actually doing pretty well. No, the guy that played the son of Han.
Oh, Adam Driver.
Adam Driver.
Stuff before.
So, yeah, but this actually helped propel him even more into the limelight, basically. And she's upset because a lot of what she said would have showcased her true acting capabilities got cut. But we'll find out when I guess the next one releases. But apparently, it's only gonna be a Disney Plus exclusive. I think I said it was 2022 or 2023.
What?
Well, obviously they didn't do any of the editing, any of the They shot it. Yeah, so they didn't do any of that.
It's gonna take 3 years.
well, I think there's a lot of infighting still is the problem. So there's a lot going on here that is kind of bewildering. So that's one news. And then Doomcock obviously said today that they're actually skeptical even if they even want to do it now. Like, this is after release last week that it was pretty much going to be an exclusive on there, blah, blah, blah. And Disney was kind of like, no, they're saying no, it's not going to happen, but not necessarily squashing it, saying it's, you know what I mean? So now there's talks inside Lucasfilm that they might not even want to show it because they feel like it's going to piss off the fans too much that we got episode 9 when this is what it would have been because of what George's input and intakes.
And so they're going to get mad at the fact of what could have been.
Correct.
After the fact.
Correct.
Okay.
So what's his name wasn't even supposed to be in it.
There'll be war.
Who the hell? Palpatine?
They weren't even going to have the Emperor? I thought that was the coolest part.
Well, no. This is see, that's cool. But if you would have realized what George had in there, it was completely better. So he was going to have an acolyte, which was Palpatine. So according to what's called, you're supposed to be transferring your essence into another soul or whatever.
Okay.
So he's going to have an acolyte, basically. It's going to be a different guy, basically, but it's his essence inside of it. And they were supposed to have this crazy, crazy lightsaber battle where they're they're using the Force somehow to teleport to literally all the planets that we've ever visited.
Mm-hmm. To fight?
To be a
like
fight.
A montage.
And a montage type. Well, it's supposed to, I guess they're like, I don't know, Force going through everything. And basically it was supposed to be like a farewell basically to Star Wars. Yeah. You know what I mean? So I mean, granted, it's kind of crazy for the Force power, but it kind of made sense as a like sort of a send off for.
Well, I mean, that's essentially the movie was supposed to be that to begin with.
Correct. And then
that's how they build it.
And then what's it called? The Chosen One was supposed to the Acolyte was supposed to knock over both Ben and Rey. And then the Chosen One, Force Ghosts in, right?
Anakin,
right? So he comes in, and then the guy, the Acolyte gets pissed off because he didn't know these Force Ghosts existed. Because I guess the dark side they never seen it before. This is the first time they ever seen it.
Yeah, you don't have too many Sith ghosts.
So then he gets pissed off. And this all happened like during a montage where he's sitting down in the chair, declaring himself the new king of all Sith, setting in together a whole new blah blah blah.
So essentially this speech he gave during Rise of Skywalker.
Sort of, similar speech, similar, very similar, but they were trying to make it so she had to kill him. Like that had absolutely nothing to do with, like, that was a complete rewrite. Like he was basically killing the Last Jedi's, meaning Rey and what's called.
Yeah.
And that's when midway through the speech after they knock both of them down is when he shows up. And then he does some kind of force lightning, and the Chosen One blocks it because it was aimed to kill basically Rey and them.
Rey and Ben.
So that's like an homage back to episode 6, I believe, when the Force Ghost did it. Or is it 5? I forget which one where they like kind of knocked off the lightning so it wouldn't have hit Luke, basically. It's an homage back to that.
Oh, where Vader picks up the Emperor and throws him down the tunnel or the tube.
Well, no, I forget. Whatever. Anyway, so that's basically with no homage to that, and then it's supposed to go into how they had where all the people, all the Jedi were chanting back to them.
Yeah.
But it wasn't supposed to be just saying Jedi, but they were actually supposed to be rambling on about a whole new like Jedi Order.
Mm-hmm.
So it's basically setting up an entire new Jedi Order with this.
Yeah.
So basically, you just set up the new Sith Order because of the fucking montage or whatever that he set, and now you're also setting up an entire new Jedi Order. So it's propelling Star Wars into the next phase, basically.
Yeah.
This is how he was fucking ending it.
Was Rey still a Palpatine?
I have no idea. Well, I mean,
I wanted so badly, since we're gonna get into the Star Wars talk, I wanted her to be Ben's sister.
I just
Han and Leia hid her.
I don't see how can be just because like if that happened,
It would
episode
explain their bond
7,
way better.
well, if it was a Bond, but I think that they would have handled it way differently if that was like your long lost daughter. Unless I don't know, whatever. I don't know. It's hard to say. It's really hard to say. So that's that. So now the other breaking news coming out of it is that so now Disney's problem is they don't know what to do and they don't really know how to solve it.
Well, now it's obviously spiking the internet and it's chatter.
There's so much going on about this. It's not like it basically once this Doom guy says it, literally for the rest of probably Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, everyone's going to be talking about this because it's going to start getting leaked from elsewhere.
Well,
he always gets it first. I have no idea how, but he always gets it first.
Says he's got a source. He is the fucking source.
Probably is.
Like, it's Dave Filoni in this weird fucking hat that just goes, I'm tired of this shit. I was writing a beautiful story in Clone Wars, and this bitch ruined it.
Yeah, so that's that. So basically there's 3 methods. Well, you already watched it, but there's 3 methods basically that they're looking at to possibly fix Star Wars.
I also like the fact that this guy you've been watching essentially says, they're doing what I said. I moved into their head, and I'm picking out the
This is the first time he said that. But it's true. Like, it's getting kind of crazy. Like, it's insanity what's going on here. But,
It's Dave. It is Dave in a weird fucking helmet saying, my cock is of doom.
he's got the capabilities. But basically, their options are basically keep episode 7 pretty much intact with slight changes. Episode 8, they just basically scratch. And episode 9, they're going to use basically Jay's and Lucas's cut. I assume they'd have to retcon some of the stuff, obviously, because they want to keep Luke alive throughout the entire thing instead of killing him off, because again, it made no fucking sense. They're gonna kill off Princess Leia a lot quicker, obviously for obvious reasons.
Yeah.
So it's interesting. I just don't know where it's gonna go. So that's one option. Option 2 was the veil mirror thing I told you about. So,
Which we saw in Star Wars Rebels, Ezra and Ahsoka.
Correct. So basically, as he's falling down, he goes into that shadow plane, does all the damage to his body, and then somebody kills him there. Is that whole idea? And then therefore, so therefore, that's actually not a bad idea. Yes, and Ahsoka. But that basically then would kill the entire trilogy, because basically then you're gonna have a divergent, basically, sort of like Star Trek has, where they have the 2 different. Yeah. Basically the movie way, which is Paramount, and then the TV series way, which is CBS. So whatever, it is what it is. And then the third way is just ignore 7, 8, 9 and just pretend it never happened to make a new 7, 8, and 9.
Yeah.
I don't know what's gonna happen, but in my mind, 3 out of the 3 require George Lucas to be on board. Which is what I said to you. He didn't say it, but when he's talking about it, I'm like, I really feel like you're banking on George being here, which is like, I thought it was highly speculative at first, and everyone who's speculating on the internet, I would say probably 75% of them say there's no way he's gonna come back. It just doesn't make sense. He's really old. Why would he want to do this? Blah blah blah. But after I'm listening to this guy, I'm like, they are really putting a lot of eggs in this basket.
Well, the question is why would he want to come back? The obvious answer is destroy the tape.
That's the only thing I can think of. They destroyed his baby. My only thing is and the reason it would really, I would love it if he came back, is he now has a blank fucking check. He can literally, if he wanted to make a Star Wars movie every fucking 18 months, he can make one every 18 fucking months. He literally has mouse money.
Well, it's a damn shame, because clearly he had an idea for this trilogy before he sold the company.
It was all in his notes. While he was selling it to him, he pitched them what he wanted to have happen.
Yeah.
It was pitched to them before he even signed it. He basically gave them, look, you're buying me for $2 billion. Here's your $2 billion back. I'm giving it back to you by giving you the fucking. He didn't give him a script, but he gave An outline. This is what it should be. Yeah, like this is literally what fucking Kennedy should have done, and actually fucking storyboard the fucking 3 episodes.
And we've talked about this several times on the show. This is why Kevin Feige was much more successful in Marvel as opposed to Kathleen Kennedy. He plotted the 10 years.
That's right.
She said, I want 3 different directors, women, and that's pretty much it. Good luck.
Woohoo! And then in other news, Kathleen Kennedy obviously losing more and more power. So she originally had basically the only power she had left was in 2 movies. Well, they canceled one. So that was the one that was going to be in the New Republic, or not? I mean, Old Republic. So basically, the Disney execs got this is the thing I was bitching about. The Disney execs got the script, read it, and were like, "What the fuck are you doing?" Basically, there's going to be a lot more gender politics involved, unfortunately.
Do you know what Star Wars is?
Yeah.
Kathleen.
Yeah, it was going to be a lot more gender politics. There was no wars or anything going on, so there really wouldn't have been much action involved. And they were going to make the 4, they're going to kill the Wills, which at that, to me, right there, was a fucking major red flag. I'm like, how can you just...
The Wills are I don't remember...
It's the father, the son, and the daughter, right? So the father's the balance, and then the son and the daughter is good and evil.
Which, if you're just a movie fan, and you, like, oh...
Yeah, they'd have no idea. Yeah, they would have no idea.
You have to check out that, I think it's like a 3-episode arc. They bring back Liam Neeson to voice Qui-Gon in that.
I almost feel... I was going to say, I think it's more than that, because I think they brought it back for Qui-Gon for 1 episode. Well, I guess that was at the end of 1 episode, and then it went into the arc.
Finds them in, like, the cavern. And the crazy thing is, they erased their memory after the fact.
Correct.
Because Anakin saw his future and what was to become of him.
Correct.
Which the fun fact is, I've been watching Star Wars back again with somebody who has not seen it, so it's fresh out. And we were watching episode 3, and I was like, you know what the fucked up thing is? It's fan theory. You go and watch the Clone Wars series. Yoda goes through, I think it's Dagobah, right? Where he gets all the fucking information and essentially foresees the future. And knows this massacre is on the horizon.
But he doesn't know what to do. That's the problem.
And he just kind of lets it unfold. And he's like, that which makes more sense because there's that scene on Cassian where he's next to Chewbacca and shit. And he immediately, like...
He recognizes it's happening now, basically.
And the only one who's aware of it.
Yeah, because he didn't know... The problem was he knew it was probably going to happen, and it wasn't a guaranteed thing was going to happen, but most likely it was going to happen, because that's just basically how the projections work. And once it started happening, yeah, you could just tell. And then he knew, basically, they were from.
Yeah, and then there's also other comics throughout the series that say, hey, like, he knew Luke and Leia were going to be born. He knew Leia was going to be the more powerful of the 2, or more patient of the 2. Luke too much like his father, Leia more like a mother.
Yep.
And he wanted to train her. And I think that's an interesting quote, too, because as I'm watching Empire Strikes Back, before you got Return of the Jedi, before you got the big reveal that Leia was the sister, where Yoda goes, no, there's not. Which, again, in his tone, and this is 30 years before the Clone Wars cartoon.
There you go.
He knew.
There you go.
And that's the man that you said, you know what, I don't like your idea for a sequel trilogy.
That's right.
I just don't think you understand Star Wars.
That's right. And then so she only has 1 movie left. It's that one with the girl that I still can't believe they're going to do. No, that girl thing that they hired who was part of that guy who killed himself, protege. I forgot the hell her name was. I'm not going to watch it. Well, he didn't kill himself. The Clinton Foundation had him hanged. I mean... No, it's one of his proteges. I already forgot her fucking proteges. I already forgot her name. I when I read that, I'm like, why am I watching that movie? Because you're fucking crazy.
Well, there's been a news that kind of sparked your telling, because I ended up watching the video because the last couple weeks you brought this to me, I haven't watched it. So all of this
oh my god, it's mind blowing half the shit.
But what triggered me to go watch this video because you said, oh, if you heard that, you should go watch this.
Yeah.
They're talking about the Lando series on Disney Plus, which Donald Glover from Community as Troy, and then Atlanta and Childish Gambino as his rapper would reprise the role. But there's also talk of Han Solo.
But there's also going to be an Old Republic as well, and they're going to have a tie-in, which I don't know if you heard or not.
Is it the comic?
Mandalorian, season 3. Luke's back, baby.
Oh,
Yep, and they're actually gonna have
Well, the
Luke actually play Luke, and I guess they said they're gonna have some kind of age thingy on him. Like he's actually gonna play himself.
So kind of what they did in episode 9, where they toned down his age with Carrie Fisher's age for the training on Leia.
Yeah, I don't know how they did it, but somehow they have the technology. They can rebuild him.
They did it with Grand Mark Tarkin.
Mm-hmm. So basically, it's supposed to be 10 years after, Return of the Jedi.
Which is on par because the one character in The Mandalorian is a former rebel jumper.
Yeah. So it's 10 years after. So we're gonna see basically Luke again. So he's gonna see Baby Yoda, obviously. But he's gonna be brandishing Old Republic armor.
So this is just speculation, just throwing this out there. You played Battlefront 2, Walking Sword.
Mm-hmm.
Luke is looking for artifacts, collecting them.
Correct. So that's basically what this ties into. So basically, after the Jedi, Last Jedi, he's basically going around collecting all these artifacts. That's basically how he gets the Old Republic battle armor.
Okay.
And that's what he's gonna be brandishing,
When
I guess.
you say Old Republic, you're talking pre-tactical, or are you talking about
Pre.
it's like,
Yeah, pre.
okay.
So like they have legit battle armor back in the day when they were fighting the Sith, apparently.
Kenobi had armor on him.
Yeah.
He didn't wear the Jedi robe.
We'll see. I don't know. I don't know what it's going to look like, but basically he's going to be getting that. And he's basically going to be on the looking. He's basically looking, how they're describing it, he's going to be looking for more artifacts and stuff like that. But I'm assuming he's going to find this Baby Yoda, and I'm kind of interested to see how he reacts with it. Because he obviously was trained by Yoda.
Yeah. Met a 900-year-old version.
So, obviously, the Mandalorian's trying to find the baby's kind. Not necessarily its family, but its kind. And he'll find Luke, who's had interactions with his kind before.
Which would be interesting, too, because there's the word on the street is Ahsoka was cast for Season 2.
Yes, she's in Season 2.
So that means there's a potential if Season 3 rolls around, you have Ahsoka Luke.
That's true. That is true. That is 1,000% true. And they also have an Ahsoka, I believe it's a movie, I think it was, or is it a TV series? I already forgotten. But
well,
yeah.
there's the Kenobi series that we still were promised. There's the Cassian series that we were promised.
There's so much. There's like basically it
Disney
looks.
Plus is going to keep this afloat.
I was gonna say Disney. Like this is a purely. If you don't have Disney Plus, you're just gonna miss all Star Wars. Like it's insane. Everything they're doing is gonna be for Disney Plus.
Well, they hit gold with Mandalorian.
Yeah.
They really did, and they have to do 6 episodes at 30
And again,
minutes apiece.
Kathleen Kennedy didn't have shit to do with it because she didn't see. Like it's the same thing with Rogue One. She just didn't see the reason for Rogue One.
Mm-hmm.
So she just let what's his name take it and let him do what he wanted to do with it.
Yeah. And
Right. Then she realized, oh my God, this is a gold mine. So then she went, oh, we'll do Solo now, and then she put her fucking hands in it because the first one did so well.
Which originally had the writers Phil and Chris Miller, or whatever the hell they are, the Chris Lord or Phil Miller,
Yeah.
who did the Lego movie and stuff. Like apparently the script to Solo was completely different, and then she brought in Ron Howard.
Well, the problem it was completely different, and I think they were doing pretty well with it. They were obviously having issues with the actor, but whatever, it doesn't matter.
That's
but
the point, because everyone had a problem with him because he didn't have that Harrison Ford swag, which I don't know if you can recreate.
well,
That's like asking a young
Yeah.
African American actor.
again,
Hey, accent.
I don't think he did a bad job in it.
Oh, neither did I.
But so basically, they had it all done, and then they basically shot everything, and then I don't think they were bad directors. I think the problem is then she came in and fucked with all of their shit, wanted all these redesigns, and then they said basically no. Is basically what I think happened, and because they said no, she basically fired them.
Yeah, and brought Ron Howard in
to
finish
finish it. So it's.
They had an impossible task with that movie. You said, hey, I want to recreate the swagger of Han Solo from Harrison Ford and then the swagger of Billy D. Williams as Lando.
Well,
good luck. And then
I didn't think he did that bad as Solo. I don't think fucking what's his name did a good job as
he
Lando.
fell in and out of it. There was times where it felt like Billy D, like he was trying to do a Billy D impersonation.
Yeah.
And then there was times he went back to Donald Glover. Like he went back into his normal voice and normal self.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's interesting. But I think a
feel
lot
like
of
they over-sexualized
Yes.
Lando in that movie.
it was ridiculous. There was no reason for it, and I don't understand why. I don't understand why the fucking ship looked different.
Yeah, you know what? The only thing I like about this ship looking different is that throughout all of the original trilogy and the sequel trilogy, they refer to it as a hunk of junk.
That's right.
And if you watch Solo from the beginning, it was like this pristine ship that Lando somehow got, and they fucking destroy the goddamn thing. It's like, no wonder people call that a hunk of junk.
I mean,
I know what it could be.
I mean, I get it, but it's just so. I don't know.
I didn't like the fact that the to me it's a signature shape.
Yeah.
And they ruined the signature shape by boxing in the front like forks. I didn't like that.
I don't understand why they did it.
And I remember when they were pitching, I was like, God, that's gonna be awful. That's gonna be awful. Like, how are you gonna explain the Millennium Falcon looks like the way it is? And they destroyed the fucking thing in the Kessel Run, which I thought was interesting.
It was interesting, and it put the Kessel Run into even the Kessel Run didn't make fucking sense to me. Like that whole interaction just didn't make.
It didn't. It made it more impressive.
It's all CGI. Like
Although,
that's basically all they wanted to do there. Oh, let's have this amazing CGI thing.
I would have been interesting if he got boarded, because there is a line where he says, "Even I get boarded sometimes," and it's like, you didn't get boarded.
That's
you
right.
just took off into the nebula and tried to risk it.
To me it was just very weird. Well, I think that whole movie, like, it started out okay, I guess, kinda. I don't know.
Well,
I mean, there's so many questions I have. Like, basically, the whole backstory of his fucking dice was because he gave it to his first girlfriend.
mm-hmm.
But isn't that kind of fucked up if you give the dice then to Leia?
That was such a hold on. That was such a fucking throwaway prop in the originals that every Star Wars fan fucking missed. There is no Star Wars fan out there that remembers those goddamn die hanging from his fucking, I guess, rear view mirror.
I remember putting him up there, but it's nothing like you would just specifically fucking recall and shit.
Do anything in the trilogy with
but
him. The original trilogy, he never does anything.
He hangs him up when he first gets in it. When you first see him getting inside, he hangs him up. But that's literally it. That's I don't even know if it's there for the rest of the time.
And then somehow Luke has him.
Well,
by the Last Jedi.
Yeah, but then it's supposed to be a stigmatized back to his first girlfriend. So you give it to your wife.
Well, he didn't give it to his wife. Luke gave it to her.
Yeah, I know, but that's like a big fuck you. It makes no fucking sense. It makes no fucking sense.
Maybe Luke doesn't know about the first girlfriend?
I don't fucking care. That's such bad writing, in my opinion.
To be honest, I was not expecting a first girlfriend.
Yeah.
I just expected, I didn't expect Han to have a love. I expected him to be like a playboy.
I didn't actually think that was that bad. I kind of liked the whole, they're trying to get off the what's called, and then he kind of joins the stormtrooper. I liked all that. Finding Chewie in a fucking dungeon, that made no fucking sense.
Kinda. I mean, if you watch the end of Revenge of the Sith, he's fighting against the clones.
But he starts
Yoda
fighting with them. Then apparently everyone out there knows Wookiee. Also,
that was kind of fucked up. That they had him actually start growling.
It's just so I don't. Whatever. There are obviously issues with it. It's just I think the biggest downfall of that was the fact that it came out of the Last Jedi.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. It came out 6 months after.
Yeah. Well, no, I think it came 9. I think it was supposed to be like 6 months, but they pushed it because they realized
it was supposed to be in December.
They
realized it was supposed to be the Christmas release. They put it in May.
Yeah, that's right. They pushed it from Chris. Yeah.
And it was like you didn't even give them time to heal from the Last Jedi. They came off that fucking thing hot.
Yeah, it was.
And went, fuck you. I'm not going. If you fucked up Luke, how are you going to handle Han?
Yeah, I didn't watch it till it went on Netflix, so.
I went and saw it. I remember seeing it. I didn't see it opening night, which was a shocker for me. Like, I go to opening night for Marvel, Star Wars, everything.
Yeah.
And I think I went on like a Saturday at 8.
There was probably no one there.
Second weekend, there wasn't.
Yeah, it was a complete bomb, unfortunately.
The only part I squealed like a little girl was, and fucking Lucasfilm does this perfectly. When in doubt, put Darth Maul back in. Exactly. Oh, the show's going a little slow. Bring in Darth Maul.
You'll be fine.
Yeah, Darth Maul will spice it up. Oh, the final season of Clone Wars, it's primarily about Maul.
Exactly. It's actually gonna be kind of interesting to see if they do anything with him or not.
Well, there's a lot of there's controversy around him. I don't know if you saw that. Apparently on Ray Park's Instagram, and he hasn't commented on this yet, so that's why people are like, did he do it or did somebody else do it? A small clip or a small film or a small picture popped up of him having sex with someone, and Disney cut ties with him.
Okay.
So, but Ray Park hasn't said anything like, "Oh, I was hacked." Or
Yeah.
Like he didn't do anything to like calm it down. He just didn't say anything at all.
Yeah.
So the rumor is that Disney has cut ties with Ray Park. So in any installments where Darth Maul will eventually show up, the belief is it's going to be Sam Winther who does the voice for Clone Wars.
Okay.
Because it's essentially a lot of heavy makeup and
I was gonna say, yeah. Honestly, you could just have anyone. You just need the voice. You could just need an actor.
Yeah.
Sort of like Darth Vader wasn't. It was
like 6 different people.
Well, it was apparently this big fucking juice head was playing him from fucking Germany or some
I met
shit.
him.
Yeah.
He
was Darth
can't
Vader.
walk
Yeah. he was Darth Vader. I had no idea.
Yeah, and then and even the guy they pulled the helmet off in Return of the Jedi
wasn't
not the same guy.
Not even the same guy.
And
yeah.
then voiced by James Earl Jones, and then fucking Hayden Christensen convinced George Lucas to let him be in the suit for Revenge of the Sith.
Yeah.
So that's 4 different fucking people for Vader.
Yeah. So it's like, who knows? Who
And
cares?
I'm sure there's a completely different guy for Rogue One when he showed up in that.
Yeah. But God, yeah, Star Wars is in a world of hurt right now, and it clearly is spinning out of control. It's a dumpster fire
Well, the
that isn't going out, and I don't know what the hell they're gonna do to solve it.
Well, the good news is, since the film aspect, we'll say film and TV aspect of Star Wars seems to be crumbling down, the print and the video game side of it seems to be picking up. I'm excited for Squadrons.
Squadrons looks. I actually watched. So I guess
They had a little bit of a gameplay over the past week.
yeah, they brought in a bunch of people into the Lucas place, and they had or not Lucas, EA, and they had it gameplay. It seems very, very complicated.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, but it looks really, really good.
I'm excited for
Yeah.
it. And then the print medium is already moving into the past, but into the future, where they're going to be doing that comic series run and graphic novels and shit about the High Republic, which was 200 years before the events of Phantom Menace.
Yeah, which is where I think the battle armor and all that. That's where the next series that they want to get into, I think, is gonna. I don't know if it's gonna be a movie or a series. Is the problem.
Well, it's
but the
starting
problem
off as
is
print.
they don't know what the fuck they want to do.
Well,
They need a new leader.
It's starting off in print. So the good thing about it starting off in print, Joe Quesada of Marvel will oversee that.
Yeah.
So it goes into the hands of Marvel. They've already announced some of the Jedis and some of the concepts of like what races and stuff they'll be. The one thing I'm really interested in and they haven't talked to yet is Yoda should still be around.
Yeah, I know.
At that point, he'd be 600.
I know. I was
I don't
thinking
know
the
if
same
he
thing.
would honestly be on the council.
I don't know. But we'll see. It's going to be interesting. But from what I heard, apparently they ride dinosaurs or something. Which I was not kind of confused with. So we'll see what the hell happens.
It could depend on the planet they're on, I guess.
Yeah, this is their primary mode of transportation, baby.
Well, that'll be definitely interesting. So, like,
Yeah.
even though the film and the TV is in such a limbo, I mean, they announced that the films all got pushed back, which didn't know there was going to be films anyway. 23, 25, and 27 are when they're going to come out.
Well, yeah. Well,
There's
I think one of them's supposed to come out sooner. I have no idea what that girl's working on. It's the only thing that Kathleen Kennedy has power over. So I assume that she's going to want to try and get it out, well, prior to her getting booted.
Well, I don't think anything's
Or
in
at least have it in production.
Like, I think everything right now is in pre-production or idea phase.
Yeah.
The only thing that's actually in motion has been The Mandalorian. And the cartoon series.
Well, that, and they also have the Obi-Wan, which
They're writing. They're
They
in the
keep, well,
pre-production phase.
I think they wrote it, and now they're rewriting it.
Which, at the same time, could have been forced to rewrite because of Kennedy, and now they have to go back and say,
Yeah.
this is not the vision.
So it's
I'm interested in what they do, because in
I
theory,
don't know.
Isolation on Tatooine should be a very boring fucking series.
Yeah.
It's just him playing solitaire in a hut for himself for 30 fucking years.
Exactly. But we'll see. It's very interesting, and they're announcing a ton of stuff they want to do. The question is, what are they going to do? Like, I don't think they can do all of this.
No.
I mean, they probably could, but they need to put somebody in charge. Like, as of right now, everyone already sees the writing on the wall. Kathleen Kennedy's leaving.
Yeah.
Like, that's just basically a fact.
Even if she isn't being ousted,
but
her contract's up.
Who's replacing her? How?
My vote's for Dave. I know it probably won't happen because he doesn't want it. Or I'd even go Jon Favreau. Jon Favreau has been the producer of The Lion King. He directed the first 2 Iron Mans, and he also is a producer on The Mandalorian. He also knows he's not letting Dave out of his fucking reach. Like, the entire time you're watching the behind-the-scenes stuff on The Mandalorian, it's Favreau and Dave. Dave is never not next to Favreau the entire time.
Well, I'm just telling you, man. From what I heard, it's either Lucas or the guy that's running Marvel.
Feige makes sense, and then
I just don't. My only problem with having Feige do it, like, what happens then to the Marvel?
He's apparently already has a plan laid out. So he, in theory, should just be like, "Hey, you're on autopilot. Don't crash the fucking thing."
Yeah, true.
Or
I mean, if it's already well planned out, yeah, maybe.
Or he gets put in charge of both, and he puts a yes man in charge of Marvel.
Yes.
And he works closer with whoever he puts in charge of Lucas.
Yeah.
So he's like VP of sci-fi or whatever it may be. And then he has 2 AVPs.
Yeah.
And the Marvel one's just a puppet where he goes, "I've already got my plan. Don't fuck it up."
Exactly.
And he goes over to Star Wars like, "This is what you're gonna do.
Don't fuck it up.
Don't fuck it up." It's gonna be interesting. Nothing. And the worst thing of this is nothing can really be done at this moment because of the whole COVID thing.
I actually think this is a blessing in disguise, though.
Oh yeah, Kennedy would have kept trucking.
Because this has actually forced Kennedy not to be able to do anything, and it's actually
step back and reevaluate.
Yeah, and it's allowing Disney to basically put their ducks in a row, without her really fucking up things.
And I feel like they're being more critical too, is because they took a hit in this COVID pandemic, not being able to have their amusement parks.
Well, I was gonna say I've actually seen that where I guess apparently they're bleeding money.
Yeah.
Disney, which I guess kind of makes sense.
When your budget's $25 million an episode on all the Disney Plus series, and you're only charging $6.99, yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah, so it's very poor timing, I guess.
Well, they were probably banking on supplementing.
Well, Disney, because they admit they came out and said that Disney Plus, they weren't expecting to make any money on it for the first 4 or 5 years or something.
But if you were gonna have Mulan, Black Widow, and the Eternals come out this year, where you're banking on close to $1 billion each.
Yep.
You just got boned because now all 3, it doesn't look like any of them are coming.
Yeah, I was gonna say they all got pushed. The only one that's gonna come out is the second season of Mandalorian.
But you don't make money off that. You're already losing the money because it's $6.99.
Well, yeah, it's $6.99. Well,
but I mean, the only thing that's still on the docket is Black Widow. On
the problem is, and what's really gonna push it is how many people are gonna resub. Because I bet you a lot of people did the 1 year thing.
Yeah.
And or like me, they get it through Verizon.
It's bundled in with my Hulu Live TV. So
yeah.
It's just I wasn't gonna get rid of it. I never had intentions of getting rid of it.
Yeah.
But how many of the people, like you said, how many people are gonna come back?
That's gonna be key. Because I bet you they're probably. It wouldn't surprise me if they broke even / losing some money. I don't think it's as bad as one would normally think. The problem is how many people do they retain after all the promos and all the other shit that basically evaporates? Are people then going to resub?
Yeah. Well, I mean, the problem you're having this summer is they've been pushing out content that they just got from the Fox library.
Yeah. Well, that's again, but the problem there is they should be publishing shit now, but the whole pandemic, like I said, it's like fucking shit timing for them is the problem.
If they had all this in the pipeline and were able to release it, you would have been golden.
Yeah, they would have been. Well, I don't know if they'd be golden, but it would have made it for a stronger argument for people to resub.
Yeah.
Basically, this is the problem. Because I guarantee you, they supplemented when Verizon did their thing. I guarantee you, Verizon's not paying the fucking $9 or whatever it is per user. It's probably fucking $4 or something. It's something dirt cheap, but it's just a way for them to get the numbers in order. Then hopefully they resub. And you understand what I'm trying to say? It's sort of like a loss leader. I just don't know how many people are going to resub. To me, it's worth it just because I have a kid and I use the shit out of the Pixar.
Yeah. That's something you can leave on, just walk away and let the kid deal with it.
Yeah, and then I can put a movie on, go do something for a while, come back. The Disney side sucks. Disney, come on. Why is there not a fucking autoplay feature? That is
Yeah.
so retarded. Like, my son does not know how to tell it to play the next fucking episode. And they're only like, and all of them are like 20-minute, 18-minute fucking.
If
like,
you're going after the Disney Junior stuff?
yeah, like, how? What? Like, Mickey Mouse Clubhouse. I'm sorry. I can't sit there and keep hitting the fucking play button every fucking. It's like 15 minutes. They're super short. Like, put a fucking autoplay feature in.
And the crazy thing is, they understand that when they have their cable channel, because they don't do commercials. They just run right into the next show because they know if the kid has a commercial.
It's like two. It's like
gone.
2 episodes though, or 2 things in one 30-minute segment is the problem.
Yeah.
So when you're at Disney Plus, like, you have to be there constantly hitting next one, please, next one, please, next one, please. Like, he likes it, but I can't. God damn it, Disney.
Well, since we spent 40 minutes on Disney and Star Wars related topics, a big event happened this past weekend, which was Comic-Con at Home for 2020. So usually this time of the year, we have to break our Comic-Con coverage down to 2 episodes because there's just so much that happens in the 4 days. Unfortunately, this Comic-Con, it was a fucking bust.
It was a shit show. They had a lot of issues. Like, the problem is everyone. It got pushed. It all got pushed.
You don't have.
We don't know when anything's gonna come in the box office. Half the shit's delayed because they were like mid-shooting. Like, it's just a fucking nightmare out there. It's like, what can you expect? What can you do at this point?
Yeah, a lot of the things were just panels of talking to the actors because I'll give you this: they got way more actor involvement, only for the fact they have nothing to do.
And
So
they could
would
just stay at home.
Yeah, and they just log on their Skype call and they're ready to rock and roll or
Yeah.
whatever the fuck you use. Very little news came
Which
out of it.
I think is, like, that's, like, shit like that, like, I wish they would do more of. You should just force the actors to, if when you sign a contract to do a movie, you have to be available.
That should be their press tour.
Yeah, like,
realistically.
And then people can actually communicate with an admin or something and get their voices heard, or even have the ability to then select them, and then you can actually see their screen as they ask the question, and they'll probably freak the fuck out. But but you understand what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
It's for that fan interaction. The fan interaction is just
the Scrubs.
It's fucking priceless.
Yeah, the Scrubs podcast that airs twice a week. You can email your questions into the producer of the show. The producer will select somebody, and then they Zoom call them in. They'll put them in the waiting room, and then put them in for the question part of the show, and then take them out. And the fans go absolutely apeshit over it. And it's just Donald Faison and Zach Braff answering your stupid questions.
And it's just a fucking. It's such an. Doesn't cost you. Like, that's the thing that drives me. It doesn't cost you anything, and it's beyond great publicity.
Yeah.
And for our age group, it's like a fucking no-brainer.
And it's bringing in advertisers. The Scrubs podcast is bringing in advertisers because now you know there's an opportunity that you may get selected to be on that show. So you got to listen.
That's right.
And you get pulled in. But when it comes to news that comes out of Comic-Con, a lot of it was just panel readings. Like, the first one I tuned into was the Star Trek panel.
Apparently it was a disaster.
The first one was Discovery, and all they did was read the season finale for season 2.
They did that, and they kind of did like a semi-trailer, kind of ish, not really.
Yeah,
it was. I didn't get it. The problem is they're not. They were probably getting ready to start shooting, or they might have been in like the first episode shooting, and then it went to fucking hell.
I think they had the same problem with a lot of shows. They had half the season done.
Yeah.
Because the news that did come out of it, it will be debuting on CBS All Access October 15th. Star Trek Discovery. They also showed the clips that they have apparently been running into the fucking ground for the Lower Decks cartoon series.
Oh my god, yeah. It fucking looks hilarious, but I don't know.
And then they brought Picard on, and
That
all they
bombed.
did was talk about, like, hey, did you have fun last season? And then they have not done shit for the next season.
Well, it bombed massively because, again, that literally it just ended almost as the pandemic started taking, like, it literally just ended. Like, they wouldn't even started bringing the actors in for the next season. Like, they're fucked, man. Well, I mean, it might actually not plan out too bad for them because they're probably going to start writing. The problem is they don't know when they can start shooting. Like, this is the whole problem. You don't know when you can start doing anything.
The running joke right now, and listening to the Scrubs podcast, is Vancouver will be the new LA. Vancouver's been given the green light to start recording anything. So if you're the CW, you're fucking firing on all cylinders.
That's right. That's right.
But if you're an LA-based show, if you're a Georgia-based show,
Atlanta,
you're beat. The news that comes out of Georgia, the Walking Dead season finale was supposed to air in March as this shutdown started. Mm-hmm. They had not finished all their shots in time. You will get the season 10 finale October 4th.
Maybe.
Well, yeah. Well,
Maybe.
No, you're definitely getting that. The other part of it is you will get a 6 additional episodes, so I don't know how the fuck you call it the season finale, if you're going to put 6 more episodes into the season. So season 10 will have 6 more episodes in early 2021, assuming they can get back on track.
That's right.
And then season 11 will air in 2021, which was supposed to air October 4th of this year. That's the Walking Dead news. The other part of Walking Dead is the new series that's been delayed that was supposed to start airing right after the original Walking Dead run finished. Mm-hmm. It's going to start exploring a cure. Now, I know you fell off the Walking Dead train. I don't think you watched it.
Long time ago. Season 1.
They have done, and I believe this is another time hop series. It's past the times of Rick Grimes. Like, there's civilization, blah, blah, blah.
Well, it's not civilization. It's more like
they're rebuilding. Yeah.
Communities. Boxed-in communities.
They're going to explore a cure. Why?
See, now, my whole thing here is if it's a time jump.
I assume. It's way past the initial infection.
Just stop it right there. It's a time jump. Just say 10 years.
Okay.
How are you going to research a cure? What fucking laboratories are going to... I'm just sorry here. How? So, you're going to need, to do this fucking pandemic we're going through right now. I mean, honest to fucking God, dear. You need,
bad timing, Walking Dead.
Yeah, it's it makes no... it's... what are you gonna get? Some fucking random guy? Oh my God, we found this house. He has a full-blown laboratory in the basement. I don't get it. You need millions of dollars of equipment.
Have 20 versions of Eugene running around where they think they know what they're doing.
I just don't get it. Or do they break into a laboratory, but you have to hope that laboratory wasn't ransacked and overcome with fucking...
The only one we've ever been exposed to is the CDC in Atlanta that exploded.
Yeah.
And that was the guy who was actually researching what happens after you're reanimated. And he didn't figure it out. And he had all technology at his fucking fingertips.
Yeah, so, I mean, to me, it's just whatever. It made no sense to me, but, I mean, who knows? Maybe, dumpster diver Dave over there can figure out a cure. I have no idea. Because, once all this shit started breaking down, I'm sure no one out there, none of the governments made that top priority for the first month until a fucking infection overtook it. Come on, really?
Yeah.
And you would have thought, whatever government it is, it would have had a massive, massive lockdown and put the whole entire National Guard.
It's not happening now.
That's what I mean. That doesn't make fucking sense.
We're dealing with it right now, and now we can't get people to wear a fucking mask.
Yeah, fucking what the hell?
I don't want to end on this because I'm looking at my notes, and the last note is damn, that's a fucking downer. I'm gonna put the downer in now.
Exactly.
A television personality and daytime talk show host Regis Philbin passed away this past weekend at the age of 88. He was on the TV for 30 plus years or some shit.
That's right.
And I think he holds a Guinness World Record of most things hosted on TV or something.
Who wants to be a millionaire?
Yeah, because he finished live.
He had his own show, Regis and
he was live with Regis and Kathy Lee, and then live with Regis and Kelly. He did Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, and apparently he did a bunch of shit before live.
Yeah, it's he did. Yeah, he had a bunch of. He had, I think, game show stuff on the Game Show Network, was it? Or whatever the hell that old fucking show was. But yeah, I mean, he was on. Yeah. I didn't realize how old he was. That was my thing. I didn't realize.
Well, the crazy thing is, at age 82, he was still running around and rolling around. He looked in really good shape.
I thought when he was only maybe in his 60s.
Yeah.
When he was doing The Millionaire, but he had to be in late 70s, early 80s.
Yeah. Yeah, you're not wrong.
That's I would have never in a million years have pegged him to be that old. Never in a million years.
Now we just need to protect Betty White.
That's right. That's right.
But I didn't want to end the show on that downer. I got other news, but I didn't want to be like, oh, at my last note of the evening, Regis died.
That's right.
You have a good week. We'll see you next week. Other news, Archer is coming back for a season 11, which the interesting note was, I recalled that this was going to be the last season. When he came out of the coma...
I thought that was... I thought last season was the last season. I didn't realize... Like, I feel like everyone keeps saying this is going to be the last season, and then they get renewed for another season.
I had assumed that after he came out of the coma, that was it. Because at least in previous interviews, it sounded like they were on the end.
Yeah.
There is nothing out there indicating that this is the last season.
Again, I thought the last season was the last season. Now this one is supposed to be the last season, and now it's just like I really think they thought they were getting canned. Is the problem?
Yeah,
I don't think it's a There's a lot of shows out there that go through this. Basically, is the problem. Yeah, where they think that they're going to get canned, so they kind of put it into certain... A lot of them even do so much as in having their very last episode, there's 2 shots that they do. Mm-hmm. One where if it's the last one, and one if they actually do get renewed, they have that one.
Scrubs is a perfect example. They did a season 8 finale, and they tied up JD's story, and they went, you're coming back for season 9. And they went, what?
Because I was thinking like Stargate SG-1 was another prime example of it, where they thought they were going to be done almost like 2 or 3 times. Like they ran the first 4 seasons, and then they thought it was going to be done, so they actually had a whole montage to wrap up basically the first 4 seasons or whatever. Because they knew that they were getting kicked off, but then Sci-Fi bought them.
Yeah.
So then they had to redo it. They actually had to make a whole new one because they really thought that they were going off air because I forget who the hell owned them at the time. Just said we don't want it anymore.
Yeah.
But then Sci-Fi bought them, and then Sci-Fi took it to a whole new level.
That happens way too often.
It happens a lot, yeah.
Lucifer, the Fox went, we don't want you
Lucifer
anymore.
did
and
it,
then Netflix picked them up. And
again, that's
we
another
want more
one.
Seasons out of you. We want our money back.
That's another one where I think they actually they actually did their final season finale. Mm-hmm. And then I guess they were. I haven't seen the new ones on what's called, but I guess they must have been psych.
Well, yeah, usually these new networks or streaming services that buy it went, no, we want a return on our investment.
Yeah.
You're gonna keep like ABC where they brought Scrubs.
I heard it was apparently it's 10 times better, Lucifer on Netflix, because they can be way more raunchy. They don't have to abide by the mouse.
There you go.
Because the mouse, I don't know if you know, very PG-8. Okay,
you ain't making
PG-8.
it. You're not making it to Disney Plus.
Yeah, very PG-8. Okay.
We don't want you. Which is funny that they have It's Always Sunny in Archer.
I'm just shocked that they. Yeah, but honestly, even if you think Star Wars, like they're going and trying to catch and like murder a fucking Yoda, basically. Like it's shocking that that's even in there. They're gonna have all the movies where Anakin goes in and kills all the younglings.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of shit now. Like, I don't know if they're getting a little bit loosey-goosey on it, or it's definitely they're starting to branch away from their technical PG 8 fucking mentality.
They're writing it off as it's sci-fi. It's not real, kids.
Well, I'm thinking obviously the Star Wars one, anything in Star Wars obviously is. I think that's why in their Disney Plus they have the separate entities. Mm-hmm. So
kids can't stumble upon it.
It wouldn't surprise me if they put age locks on them at some point.
They should.
Because
how are you ever gonna get Deadpool and Logan onto that fucking streaming service?
But that's exactly what I'm trying to say. Especially when you go down into the mutants and I mean, God, if they even wanted to even somewhat go into some of these Deadpool and stuff, if you wanted to actually go down that path. You almost have, the way, at least at how their mentality is, you'd almost have to put that in.
Well, remember the social experiment we talked about 2 years ago, Once Upon a Deadpool, where they re-released Deadpool 2
so
as a
horrible.
PG-13?
It was so bad.
The jokes did not land as great.
No, well, it's because, it did if you knew what the hell, should have been said.
Yeah. And if you're a fan of Deadpool, you're looking at this like he would.
Yeah, no.
He would not censor. He would actually probably yell at the censor
as was happening. Oh, there's confetti instead of blood.
Confetti-gasm. Get that trending because of Paper Mario.
That's right.
There really isn't any... So here's the problem. A lot fucking happened in the past week. So last week, we're dealing with a week where we had nothing.
That's right.
This week we had Comic-Con, which we've covered. We had 40
Which is
minutes
pretty
of Star
shitty.
Wars news.
Pretty shitty.
But
Star Wars, I'm sure we'll have another 40 minutes next week, so.
I really think at this point I'm going to have to push this stuff to next week. There was an Xbox fucking conference.
I didn't even look at it.
Good.
It's
I didn't want to really talk about it, but
it's the same shit over and over again with them. I don't understand why. It's Halo Infinity. I saw some news articles where they're fucking doing something where it's going to be whatever fucking ring they're going to be on this. Like, there's just shit. It's just like, I don't care. Like, you got give us something new. But the problem is they can't give you anything new. Like, they're actually, which just sucks because I did say, like, I like the fact that they're doing this where every month they're doing it. But now the problem is they don't have anything in the pipeline, so they constantly have to keep rehashing the same shit over and over again because they don't have anything in the pipeline because everything's shut down. It sucks, and it's like at the point now where it's like I'm okay with you just skipping it now. Can you just come back when you start actually making
Here's
shit?
the interesting thing. I really wanted to link that, and there was a Nintendo what's called the Giga Leak, which was a lot of code from the N64 was leaked that showed like things like Luigi was going to be in Super Mario 64, even though he's not. But if you play it on the DS, there he is. That type of stuff. And there's a whole list. Which
well, they had a lot of games that they announced that they're going to be porting over into it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
a lot of games. It's not like I was shocked. I was like, they normally don't do that.
Yeah.
That's not normal Nintendo like.
So there was a lot of that news, and the key story that I feel like links everything we're talking about gaming since we've been back. There was a teaser over Comic-Con weekend. The return of G4.
G4.
Remember what G4 was?
It was wasn't it like G3?
No. What?
No, the gaming convention or whatever.
No, G4 was a network solely devoted to gaming.
Oh,
and G4
yes.
is returning in 2021.
That was it. It wasn't a. It was a show
Attack
on.
of the Show. Chris Hardwick's from there.
I thought it was just a show, and I thought it was like on MTV or like MTV like.
G4. I think it's now the Paramount Network. It's evolved into like.
It's been so long, yeah. But I remember what you're talking about. Yeah, that actually makes sense because
gaming's the new thing.
Gaming's getting popular. Esports, Disney. I'm surprised Disney didn't do it because Disney's really pushing on, the Overwatch League and stuff. A lot of. I've even seen Splatoon and shit now.
There's a channel on Hulu Live TV, all gaming.
Yeah. It actually makes sense.
But I thought it was interesting because we were talking about how like they need to do like a monthly like this
yes.
kind of go through. G4 was that on a daily basis. Here's all your gaming news for today.
It wasn't
Here was
really...
Attack of the Show. It was also pop culture.
I was going to say, I don't remember it being
better.
as much... Yeah, that's right. I don't remember it being... I thought it was like a lot of reruns and stuff and a lot of... Like the problem was...
ran MXC a lot.
The problem was they didn't really have enough...
content
all the time coming out, whereas definitely now they could.
Oh, for sure.
Because all you have to do is
sign a Twitch streamer or a streamer.
You don't even. I mean, you could do that, but I don't think so. I mean, there's so many tournaments out there now.
Yeah.
That you can.
But even
basically show them.
Dead air, you get to sign. Okay, here's a perfect example. Even though I fucking hate this guy and the fact that he's gotten a lot of press. Dr. Disrespect.
Yeah, and I still don't know what's going on there. We're going on like what, week 4 now, and he hasn't said shit. Twitch hasn't said shit.
But in theory, if he was negotiating a contract to be on, let's say, a network like G4...
Well, no, that's the thing that doesn't make any sense, because he just, I mean, literally 1 week into his contract, like, and then all this happened. It is
but I'm just
very
saying,
weird.
Imagine a personality like that. And you just time slot him on Wednesdays at 8.
I wouldn't.
Dr. Disrespect primetime.
I mean, have you watched any of his streams though?
Not him specifically.
I was gonna say,
but
like, I would never in a billion years put him on TV.
Who's that fucking dude they put on Disney XD all the time? Markiplier, I think is his name.
Yeah, Yeah.
Just imagine a personality like him.
But he's not a. He doesn't actually do what's called. He actually does commentators.
Semantics.
But he does commentating now. Yeah. But that's what I'm saying. Like, you could do him commentating. It's more like a YouTube thing, but more commentating professional games and stuff. Yeah.
If you could just think, if G4 taps into
again,
that,
it's like what I'm
and
saying,
brings everybody in.
Again, I'm agreeing with you. Like but to me, it's a little bit. I don't know if I would do a streamer, is what I'm saying. Meaning, like he's actually streaming, playing the game at the same time.
Well,
I mean, I guess you could maybe during off hours, like off hours.
Wanted to end the show tonight and make a pitch to G4 if you need a late night host. Here I am. Here he is.
That's right.
We could do a Conan, Andy Richter thing. We could do a Johnny Carson, Ed McMahon thing. He could be Guillermo, and I could be Jimmy Kimmel.
We can do commentating too.
We could do commentating, but I want to talk. We could be a late night variety special, and we could have guests on.
Games though. That too.
I'm just saying.
God, that's actually a good point.
The Dace Man Show is primed for the 11:35 slot to take on Kimmel, Fallon, and Colbert.
That's right.
That's all I'm saying, G4.
Woo!
We'll do it. We'll tone down our act. We will apologize for things if you make us apologize for things. I'm just making the pitch.
The pitch.
That if you need late night TV, because that's a thing, everybody needs a talk show.
Well,
at 11:35. Comedy Central has theirs. TBS has theirs. The three networks have theirs.
That's prime gaming time, though, man. I think you need to have it like when they're first waking up, like 8 p.m.
That's perfect for us because we're old and we don't do the gaming thing, and we'll be
saying,
ready to go.
You know, when they're having their breakfast, we can be their morning show at 8 p.m.
Or when they're on their toilet taking their morning dump. We are your guys!
Exactly!
So G4, if you hear us, we are pleading, hashtag, bring the Dace Man Show to G4.
Do it!
Unless you're something we don't want to be associated with. But even then, we'd still do it. Just reach out. Dace Man Show, G4. It's a union made in heaven. I'm funnier than Chris Hardwick, and that guy does everything now.
That's right. Everything.
Yeah, he's on The Walking Dead. He has a freaking game show on NBC. He used to run Nerdist. Come on, I'm just telling you, it's time to freshen it up. All these current personalities that are out on the YouTubes and the
get rid of them.
Twitch.
Just us.
They're old news, man.
Old
news. You need us.
That's right.
You need me and the walking lawsuit. We got you.
Exactly.
Anyway, I just wanted to end the show on that. The G4 was coming back and make the desperate plea of sign us. Sign us to G4.
Sign us, please.
Maybe I'll get a t-shirt out there. Maybe I'll just say it every day. Hashtag sign the Dace Man Show. We'll rename it. I'm not so egotistical that I have to have my name in the show. I get it.
Could be the G4 show.
Yeah, you can call me the G4 After Dark or G4 in the Morning. I'm cool with whatever you want to call it.
Do it!
Say, G4 in the Morning with Chris the Dace Man Dace. I'm cool with that.
Exactly.
Hey, if you want to get a legal team to see that I can actually use the Dace Man because Andrew Dice Clay is cool with it, also cool with it.
We're good.
I can even be Chris Dace. That guy's not as good, but, he's there.
That's right. He shows up. That's what we're good
I
at.
feel like I've made my pitch.
We show up.
I feel like we also need to highlight this and just circulate it and be like, yeah, we want those guys.
Yeah.
Have you heard of these guys? Nah, but we want them. We want them.
We know what we're doing.
Anyway, that's our show in a nutshell.
One big nutshell.
No douchebag of the week because, quite frankly, there was just too much news. And my plea to G4 to sign
That's right. We need it.
Come on, G4.
Do it.
Let's elevate we did this production standard on our own dime. It only took us 7 years to get this fucking quality.
Or maybe you're going to be the douchebag of the week.
Yeah. Do not get on the douchebag of the week list, G4. You don't want to be there. It's ruined careers. Specifically his. He's been the douchebag for 23 weeks. Anyway, that's pretty much our show. Oh, I don't know why I'm running the fucking thing. We gotta do plugs. What do you got going on?
Oh, yeah. Please email me at dancemanshow@gmail.com. I stream every once in a while. Minecraft, Apex, etc. Pretty much, I think it's every Thursday, Saturday.
Well, sometimes you jump on Wednesday night after Mr. Jerry Gaming.
I usually do, just because he doesn't really stream. I didn't realize he didn't stream that long. And then Fridays we do. We're gonna try and do D&D every Friday. Attempting.
Most Fridays.
Most Fridays.
We'll see if the campaign actually ends this week.
Hit or miss.
If it does, then I gotta build a new campaign really quick.
Really quick.
And
I think that's pretty much it for me.
I mean, yeah, you stream a lot on Thursdays, Saturdays, and Sundays.
Thursday, Saturday, Sunday.
The occasional audible, we go, hey, get on.
That's right. Hey, I just need more than like it's 9:30. Hey, get on. But
that's
I'm like,
my bad. I was supposed to do Paper Mario. I didn't do Paper Mario.
You would have watched me lose another Electra, so it's probably better for me.
Yeah. Hey, he did the Civ 6 stream, and I was on there talking.
Yeah, I gotta
That's how it's
finish
built,
that. I
Legos.
only got like 40 turns left, and I win a scientific victory. Woo!
Yay.
I might do that. I'll probably do that sometime this week, to be honest. Finish that up, and then probably jump into Minecraft.
There you go. Anyway, follow us on Twitter at The Daceman Show. Follow me on Twitter at The Daceman. Like us on Facebook.com/The Daceman Show. Head over to TheDacemanShow.com for everything officially The Daceman. Tomorrow night, Jerry Games takes over Twitch.tv/Daceman and Friends. Like he said, he'll be probably streaming Thursday night. Friday night's D&D, where we're doing a Ricktastic adventure.
Ricktastic.
I think the first episode went well.
Yeah, it did. It was pretty good. I thought it was a little chaotic, but first time back, I didn't expect much less.
And first time DM.
Yeah, well, I don't think that really had any effect in there. It was just more of
the jitters and cheever.
Where it, yeah. Well, that, yeah, that one, yeah, that one.
Hey, Mr. Meeseeks! Yeah. Woohoo! Then, like I said, Saturday, Sunday, he usually takes over the streams. I'll get back to Paper Mario eventually. I know what's going to happen. I'm going to play Paper Mario, and I'm going to get sucked down a fucking hole and be on it for hours.
The hole.
Because I didn't want to end when I ended before, but my body said, you need
you
to.
old bitch.
And then, like you said, we'll hear every Tuesday at 8 p.m. So we have no events really coming up anytime soon. COVID really prevents everything, and we haven't done an event in over a year and a half.
Hey, we try.
So
well, it's done quicker now. We had one in March.
Well, I don't count the game-a-thon.
Why?
The game-a-thon
only 24 hours.
Well, the game-a-thon's when we balance our karma.
Oh. Karma.
So for the other, 51 weeks where we're
right.
assholes, we do 24 hours of charity, and not even. We use daylight savings time to only do 23.
That's right.
But that's our show in a nutshell. I'm going to hit the music and see our way out. For the few. For my chickens. For the proud. And for the Taste-tacular. Thank you for tuning in. And as always, we will see you next